Hello dear friends and welcome to the channel. I'm your host Stan, and with this video I want to bring to your attention my review of the latest and highly anticipated Guild Wars 2 expansion End of Dragons. End of Dragons is the third expansion pack for Guild Wars 2 and it was announced almost 2 years ago. After long waiting, it finally came to life on 28th of February earlier this year. That's exactly 2 weeks from the moment I started to record this video, and for this time I was able to complete the story. I explored the new maps and checked almost all the new functions and mechanics which this expansion has to offer. In the next few minutes of this video I will share with you my thoughts and impressions from this expansion. I will begin with the story because for me that's the main selling point, and worry not, this part I will try to keep as much as possible spoilers free, and after that we're gonna check some of the new features that End of Dragons brought to us. So without any further ado, let's begin. Okay guys, as I said a bit earlier, let's begin with the story campaign of this expansion, and I can just say, oh boy, what a great job this time ArenaNet did. Without wasting any time, the End of Dragons campaign will launch you into its story. After a short introduction mission, you find yourself, let's say, crash landed in Kanta. Kanta is a mysterious continent that's been closed for the rest of the world for over than 250 years. Without knowing almost anything about this new and mysterious place, you find yourself again in a save the world situation. While you progress through the story, you meet some new and old characters, and you get to know Kanta through both having conversation with them and exploration. Talking about exploration, I should tell you that Kanta is absolutely gorgeous place, and it's really easy to lose yourself in this new and unique environment. One that is really different and fresh from the rest of the Guild Wars 2 world. As you talk with the NPCs, both new and old, you unlock more knowledge about this world. You can piece together stories, learn about their thoughts and feelings. Compared to the previous expansions, I can say that all the dialogue feels more real and sincere. By the way, did I mention that the whole story campaign have voice acting and you don't have to read a single line? Yes, it has, and the voice acting here is really good. And this is not just by MMO standards. In addition, the End of Dragons cinematics, which by the way are 5 times better from anything you saw from ArenaNet so far, also place greater emphasis on dialogue, and that's not only for the good characters but also for the villains. With the End of Dragons expansion also came new specialization for each profession. I have a ranger main and I had a lot of fun playing the Untamed Elite specialization. With huge hammer in my hand, I smashed a large number of enemy skulls and headed directly to the final battle of this quest line. And man, believe me, this was something. Without revealing any spoilers, I will say that the final battle is just epic and also fun to play. While some of the mechanics are a little bit nerve-wracking, the battle does make you feel like a real legendary hero. In addition, the weight of the fight is becoming more and more present. Except few small filler type side quests, each battle in the quest line is fascinating. The bosses were challenging and unique, using some new mechanics and tricks. Some of them actually can literally one-shot you, and that made me grateful for having my NPC friends by my side. Every fight counts and it never felt like I'm doing it without a reason. To conclude this part of the video, I would just say the pressure is back on with Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, and it feels good. The main quest line and combat are engaging thanks to the new elite specializations, unique characters and interesting fight designs. And of course not everything was perfect, there were few boring side quests and one really dull color minigame, but despite that there is still drive to keep on going and even replay the main adventure. Before I start talking about the new features that came with this expansion, I have to say that ArenaNet did a brilliant thing considering new players who might not have played through previous expansions Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns, allowing those new players to unlock gliding, the Raptor and the Springer mount from doing End of Dragons content. This immediately improved the experience for those players, and yes, they will be missing those mastery lines from the previous expansions, but it also gives them even better reason to go back and work on those. Moreover, right at the beginning of your adventure encounter, ArenaNet implemented small training ground where they explain combo fields, break bars and dodging, which is extremely useful and it should be done much earlier. With the End of Dragons expansion, you have the opportunity to explore 4 new zones with unique art style and level design. Your adventure will begin in the Shinjay Island. This zone is full of screenshot-worthy views, including rushing waterfalls, cherry blossoms, wonderful sea views and small villages with East Asian inspired architecture. New Canaan City, by contrast, that actually the next zone you will visit, is neon-lit urban metropolis. The sheer size and verticality of this map is absolutely mind-breaking, to a scale that I don't think I saw something similar in another MMO. Then we have Arborstone and Echovault Wilds. Both zones are sharing the same unique and amazing art style. Arborstone is a player hub similar to Eye of the North, which you'll be able to upgrade and get access to different amenities like traders, crafting stations and so on. Visually, Echovault Wilds is my favorite map and this is where I spend most of my time playing Guild Wars 2 lately. I find something really appealing in this combination of ancient forest and gothic architecture, to the point that I just can't get enough of it, and I want to explore and discover every little secret this place has to offer. And finally we have the Dragon's End, or also known as the Jade Sea, and this is where the biggest problem with this expansion was hidden. This map is a home of meta events so challenging and difficult that most of the time it failed. And this caused uproar in the Guild Wars 2 community because the Siege Turtle was locked behind completing it. Thankfully, ArenaNet made some tunings and adjustments to make this event a bit more easier, and additionally they provide another way for the players to obtain their Siege Turtle X on March 15. Personally, I don't mind some more difficult open world content, and I'm really happy that they provided another way for the players to obtain their Siege Turtles instead of nerfing the whole event to the ground. Okay, now let's talk about some of the new features you'll encounter in End of Dragons, and I'm sure that many of you like me were delighted with the introduction of fishing in Guild Wars 2. This little feature is a nice distraction after doing long meta event. The fishing minigame is intuitive and there are also countless achievements for you to pursue. Not to mention that just seeing people casting their lines around the shore or on their skiffs make this world to feel more alive. And talking about the skiffs are little boats that you can ride in water, and you can even bring your friends on board. On first look, this doesn't feel particularly special because we already have the possibility to traverse water on the back of the skimmer mount, but if you look at it from another angle, these little boats provide countless possibilities for role-playing, and maybe in the future skiff racing will be a thing in Guild Wars 2 as well. Then we have the Jade Bots. Those are cute flying robots that are powered by Kantan technology. They will allow you to use zip lines and teleporters, which will help you to navigate easier through this world. Very useful thing for new players or people which doesn't have access to sky scale. With the help of the Jade Bot you can also use offensive and defensive power-up stations. With the right mastery you can even set up personal waypoint, and they also can revive you when you are down it. Now to the new strike missions. For those of you who don't know yet, the strike missions are 10-man arena type boss fight instances. They were for first time introduced in Guild Wars 2 with the last Living World season Icebrood Saga, but 80% of those strikes were just easy mode, stuck in one place and hit face without presenting any real challenge. With the 4 new End of Dragon strikes, this is definitely not the case. The first thing you will notice with the new strikes is that the time set to defeat the boss is gone. This allowed the devs to implement some new mechanics which will require from you constant moving and map awareness. Stacking in one place will be not your best strategy anymore, and definitely you have to play and focus on the mechanics. That really made every single End of Dragon Strike mission more engaging and enjoyable, and I'm really looking forward for more content like this in the future. Probably right now you're wondering why I didn't say nothing about the new specializations, and that's mainly because I have only 4 of them unlocked. And that's the Untamed, the Vindicator, the Mechanist and the Willbender. For those 4 I can say that I really enjoy my time playing them, and they really feel different from the standard archetype for those classes. And what about this little big fella? Sorry guys, I can't tell you nothing about it because I don't have it yet, thanks to this super difficult meta event which I mentioned a bit earlier, and my obsession to Echo Vault Wilds. But one thing I can promise you for sure, the moment I unlock this wonderful mount, I will make a guide for it. For final words, I can just say that with End of Dragons, you really feel that ArenaNet has learned its lessons from both Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire, and they honed their newest expansion to the best of both. ArenaNet just didn't add on but also build up on well-established world, and this time they also really step up on the production quality. Everything from voice acting, storytelling, character developments, music, combat designs and cinematics is just outstanding. All this combined make me excited to see where they will go from here. Okay guys, hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Please take a moment from your time and write a comment, and if you want to support my work even further, you can always smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, have a great day and see you in the next one.